Shoveling and snowblowing are a part of life for many Western New Yorkers in the winter. But between the cold temperatures and moving heavy snow, it can be dangerous. Jacob McPherson, a clinical assistant professor within the Department of Rehabilitation Science at the University at Buffalo, is here to talk about ways to protect yourself from getting hurt. Good morning. We're inside today because it is pretty cold outside, but we're going to do some demonstrations here in the studio. But Jacob, kind of talk about just how important it is to have the right technique when it comes to shoveling.
Sure. I think the right technique really comes down to a few things, and it really starts with the right footwear. You want to have shoes or boots that have good traction, preferably that are waterproof. We really emphasize the idea of a penguin walk with individuals, where you're taking short, flat-footed steps to minimize slipping. And then when you're ready to get out there and start moving the snow around, you want to be careful to keep your back straight and bend with the knees and the hips and less so with your back. And snow shovels nowadays, they have these big bucket-like features at the end of them, which really hold a lot of snow. And as many of us know, snow can be very heavy.
Yes.
So there's no obligation to fill this thing to the max every time that you take a scoop of snow. When you are ready, you can kind of get a little bit low, again, bend with the knees and the hips. And then once you have your load of snow here, you want to keep it close. We see a lot of injuries that happen when people are really reaching. When you have that weighted load in the shovel and you're out here with it, it actually adds a lot more strain and stress to your body. The next big thing that we see trouble with is when people are twisting. So you've got this heavy load of snow here. You're going to throw it into the snowbank that you're making. The urge is to hurry up, twist, throw so you can get to the next one. But really, you want to pump the brakes, pause for a second, and then work your way around, keep that back nice and straight, and toss it gently and save your back.
If you don't follow these proper techniques, what could happen? Yeah,
we see a lot of strains, slips, falls, back pain, shoulder issues. People are trying to throw way up overhead. Those are probably the most common.
Anything else that you want to let people know with this winter and just kind of being safe out there?
Sure, yeah. Snow shoveling is a very vigorous activity. It's much more physically demanding than what a lot of people do for their regular exercise. In fact, those demands are similar to activities like jogging or certain sports like playing racquetball. So if you haven't been very physically active, make sure you're taking breaks and you're pacing yourself and you're listening to your body. If you're having trouble catching your breath or you're experiencing chest pains, those are emergent medical concerns, and you should really address those with a medical provider. But from a musculoskeletal perspective, think about protecting yourself, slow movement, again, taking breaks. We all want to finish quickly, but be safe out there. And again, monitor your movements a little bit. If you do have strains or pains, individuals in New York State can see a physical therapist for up to 10 visits or 30 days without a physician referral.
First thing we have on that tip list was to dress appropriately. We know today it's a cold day. Kind of how does the weather kind of play a factor in all this?
Sure. I think Dr. Burstein hit this well just a few moments ago. Hat, gloves, boots, or shoes with good traction. Monitoring for moisture. I think our extremities are susceptible to the cold, and that's exacerbated when they're wet. So if we're out there sweating or we don't have gear, your hands and feet will become much colder much more quickly.
Okay, well, important tips and reminders for people out there to stay safe. So thank you so much for joining us this morning and talking about this. And stay with us. Matthew shares a look at Buffalo's most accurate forecast when Wake Up returns.